Hey guys, it's Cece, and today I'm here to talk to you about a readathon. So today I am so excited to announce that I am going to be helping to host the Fall Into Fantasy Readathon with Penguin Teen. I have been so excited to finally make this announcement. Now it's here. I hope that you are excited because, believe me, I have been dying. So the Fall Into Fantasy Readathon is going to be a readathon all about reading fantasy. It's all right there in the title, and it is going to be happening from November 18th to the 25th. There's going to be so much happening over the week, so I really hope you get the chance to join and to read with us. Please check out the other hosts. All of the information that you could possibly need is going to be linked in the description below. But if you go to the Readathon HQ down there, you will see the other hosts, including Naya, Monica, Emma, and Haley. Please follow all of these wonderful, wonderful ladies. So this week of reading, there are 8 challenges involved in the Readathon. 8. There's also one goal outside those 8 challenges, and that is to read at least 4 books. So the challenges are to help you choose the books, and then this other goal is just like how many maybe you want to set a goal for yourself to read. This does mean that you can use books for multiple challenges. I certainly will be. The other exciting announcement before I get into my TBR and the actual challenges is that I am going to be buddy reading a book with all of you. Every single one of the hosts will be buddy reading a book throughout the week, and you can pick and choose to join any or all of us in reading that book. I am beyond thrilled to announce that I will be buddy reading The Brilliant Death by Amy Rose Capetta, which I have been talking about all year long. I've been dying to read this book, and I cannot wait to read it with all of you. For info on all of the other books that are going to be read by all the other hosts throughout the week, like I said, go to the Readathon HQ. All of the info will be there. There are a lot of really great books that we're talking about this week. But let's get into the books that I am specifically going to be reading. I have picked 4 to suit these 8 challenges, and let's talk about challenges and books. So the very first challenge of this readathon is to read a new fantasy book. For this challenge, I will be reading The Brilliant Death by Amy Rose Capetta. Yep. It's already back again. The Brilliant Death is set in a magical, Italian-inspired past. It follows a girl named Theodora who is trying to hide the fact that she is a strega, a person who can transform people into objects. But when the ruler of Venalia poisons the patriarchs of the 5 controlling families, one of whom is Theodora's father, Theodora must find a way to save her family. Thus enters Cielo, who is a strega with the ability to transform back and forth between male and female, between human and animal. They have to find some way to guide Theodora into mastering her powers so that she can enter the palace, not only disguised as a boy, but transformed into one. This is a romance with a gender-fluid love interest. It is going to be magnificently queer and magnificently magical, and I am thrilled to be buddy reading it. The second challenge for the readathon is to read a sequel. For this challenge, I'm going to be reading Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix by Julie C. Dow, and just so you know, this is one of the books that will also be buddy read throughout the week. So Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix, in case you don't know, is the sequel to last year's Forest of a Thousand Lanterns, which I adored. This one is an East Asian-inspired retelling of the Evil Queen story, and the first part was wonderful, but this, Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix, is the second part of the duology, the completion of the story. I can't wait to be introduced to the new perspective in this one, as well as get back to knowing more about Shifeng. It's going to be fabulous. The third challenge for this readathon is to read a diverse fantasy. Now, either of the books I just talked about could qualify for this challenge, but I'm bringing in a new book. So, I want to talk about The Reader by Tracy Chee. The Reader follows a girl named Sophia whose father is brutally murdered in front of her, and she is forced to flee to live with her aunt Nin. The two of them live their life on the run, constantly on the lookout for new threats, and then Nin is kidnapped and Sophia is left on her own. Her only clue is an object that she took from her house when she originally fled, a rectangular object which she slowly figures out is a book. This is a world where reading is unheard of, which is already fascinating to me, but it is also supposed to be full of adventures, of pirates, of assassins and magic, and it is the first book in a series that I would very much like to get involved in. The fourth challenge of this readathon is to read a book with multiple points of view. For this challenge, I have chosen to try to read Furyborn by Claire Legrand. This is a story of 2 women who live a century apart. They both have the ability to perform all 7 types of elemental magic, which marks each of them as being a destined queen. One queen is destined to doom the world, the other to save it, and neither of them know which is which. So this has 2 POVs as far as I know, each of the 2 queens. It goes back and forth across time and is about magic and destiny, and has been getting killer reviews. Plus, it is the first book in a sequel, and I think as we've learned throughout this video, I love a good fantasy series. So if you have been counting along with me, you may have noticed that I have mentioned 4 books, which is how many books I said I would be reading during this readathon. So yes, those are the 4 books, but there are 4 more challenges that I'm going to talk about. The 5th challenge of this readathon is to read an LGBTQ fantasy book. As you may have guessed, I will be reading The Brilliant Death to check off this challenge. Like I said, gender fluid love interest. I'm excited. Plus, I've heard that in general, this book is just like chock full of gender stuff. So it's gonna be very queer. The 6th challenge is to read a book that has been on your TBR for too long. You just gotta get to it. For that challenge, I am also counting The Reader by Tracy Chee, which I have owned for a couple of years now, so it's time. The 7th challenge for this readathon is to read a new series. And for this, I will be reading Furyborn by Claire Legrand, which is a new series to me, but is also a fairly new series as this book was released in 2018. So checking off any kinds of definitions of new here. And the 8th challenge is to read a Booktube recommended book. For this, I am going to be counting Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix by Julie C. Dow. I discovered Forest of a Thousand Lanterns because of how often Booktube talked about it. I have been getting hype about this one because of how often I see it mentioned on Booktube. So that is what I will be counting for that 8th challenge. Okay, that is it. That is all I think I want to talk about in this video as far as the Fall into Fantasy readathon. I have been so excited to talk more about this readathon and to participate as a host. I would love it if you could join me and read during this week. Like I said, it is November 18th to the 25th, and you have so much information in the description. Please check it all out. Find out what the other books are that we're going to be hosting this week, follow the other hosts, and check out their TBRs, and let me know down in the comments below if you will be participating. Please. I can't wait. And if you make a TBR, comment that as well. I want to see what you guys are reading. Thank you guys so much for watching. I cannot wait for November 18th to get here, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!